It is Tuesday afternoon, and I'm just enjoying a little afternoon pick-me-up brewed here at home by me in my Chemex in my trusty WNYC swag coffee mug. Yes, I support public radio. You'll notice I got some scruff here. Not because I haven't had the time or feeling lazy necessarily, I just haven't been in the mood to shave. So when I am unshaven during the work week, I have a little rule where I have to offset that or counter it with crisp clothing. A pressed shirt, good trousers or nice jeans, and shined, well-tended, nice shoes, if I'm sporting scruff. On the weekend, do whatever you want. But typically I like to shave. Maybe I'll shave tomorrow. It's something I've always enjoyed as a grown man. I like the ritual. Had an interesting conversation the other day on Twitter. Some nice young man named Vin mentioned me in a video. He mentioned specifically my podcast episode on the endangered sense of occasion and how everything has become so casual and whatnot. And he mentioned he's become, like a lot of young men today, very tuned into tailoring, like really tailored, handsome clothing. And he showcased this new custom tailored suit that he had made. He looked great, but he had the sleeves of his shirt coming out from under the jacket of the suit were too long, and so he was bemoaning that a little bit. And all my shirts fit now, but for years, if my shirt was too long for a jacket, I did a little cheap trick, and I'm good at cheap tricks. I did a cheap trick, which I shared with my friend Vin on YouTube, with rubber bands. I would take the rubber band from my New York Times weekend subscription, and I would take the rubber band, and it's a sort of a thick, sturdy-ish rubber band, not too skinny to like cut off any circulation, but also tight enough to hold up the fabric. So what I would do is make a little garter on my shirt sleeve, like this. Take the rubber band up the shirt just above the elbow, right? And blouse it until the shirt length around my wrists and my cuff was where it needed to be, so I only got that half or quarter inch of shirt cuff showing under the jacket. Cheap trick. Rubber bands. It's cheap, but it works. So that was the story with that. Now I'm gonna take my cufflinks out because I'm gonna roll my sleeves up because I do have work to do. And rolling up your sleeves when you don't have a jacket on, obviously, makes you look busy. Oh, about that rubber band cheap trick, you have to obviously have a jacket on while you do that. You don't want anybody seeing the fact that you've got rubber bands on your shirt sleeve. It would look cheesy. So yeah. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves. I had a great conversation this afternoon with a guy named Philip Pravda, who is the proprietor of a Italian men's clothier on Madison Avenue and 52nd Street called Pravda 1908. It was his father's business, and everything in there it's expensive. I mean, their suits start at like $1,500 and go up from there. But Philip and I had become friendly on Twitter, and I was in the neighborhood and stopped in as he suggested I do whenever I'm in the neighborhood. So I did, and we had this great conversation about tailoring and suits, fabric, ties, shirts, shoes. They had amazing shoes in there, but wow, were they expensive, but really good stuff. I guess my point in bringing this up is that it was fascinating to talk to a master of his craft. It's fascinating for me to listen to a master of any craft, but you know, when it comes to sartorial porn, like talking about suits or something, I'm a captive audience, and he had a lot of stuff to say, a lot of knowledge that I think someone in his position and in his work takes for granted, but still fascinates me. Like, you know, what goes into the collar of a jacket to keep its shape, and you know, that's maybe boring to him. It's, you know, that's, like I said, sartorial porn to me. So follow Philip Pravda on Twitter. You can see his Twitter handle in the description to this video. He's got great information to share. Extremely knowledgeable guy, and like I said, fascinating, at least to someone like me. And I have talked long enough, and that's it. There's another video. See ya.